To define a game plan in Tekken 7 for players to follow is to encourage players to develop habits. Good or bad, it is important to play this game in a manner that suits your own strengths as well as the characters. This is a big part why top players cannot always just select a top tier and win everything with ease. Your game plan needs to be forever developing and unfolding as you analyse the opponent and their character that you're versing, as they will be aiming to do the same with you and your character. There are character-specific tidbits that can help you strengthen your game plan, such as defensive tactics including punishment, movement, and familiarity with key moves and setups the character may have, and this will help you develop a starting point and a stronger defense against certain characters. You also need to know your own character's weaknesses and what you should and shouldn't risk in the match. For example, using Nina's Blonde Bomb excessively against a character with a 14 frame launcher is much riskier than using it against a character who cannot launch punish it. Many people fall victim to the belief that Nina is a string heavy character and that the way to play her is to constantly be pressing buttons. In reality, the strings that many people struggle to verse have clear weaknesses, and constantly pressing buttons is going to leave you open to being counter hit, evaded, and whiff punished. This is not a playstyle that will take you very far. Some strings do have a place in the game, as knowledge checks or in unique situations, and the rushdown pressure needs to be calculated to be effective. Nina's most threatening tools are only accessible at closer ranges, and this suggests to us that if the opponent gives you the opportunity, you generally want to be at a closer range. That being said, most characters have stronger and more tools that they can use when they're up close. So your goal should not just be to get close, but it should be to get close with advantage so that your options can be used and are more effective than theirs. If this isn't achievable, it could be best to just poke, pester and keep your distance, aiming to keep around the tip of your key moves or your opponent's key moves to try and bait a whiff that you can effectively whiff punish. If you're versing an opponent and character where it does appear worthwhile to stay close to the opponent, this is where your strategy wants to revolve around staying close, pressuring your opponent, and sticking to them like glue. The best defensive measure to deal with such a tactic in Tekken 7 is to backdash, and that may be applicable to you in many situations as well. But with that in mind, don't threat if your opponent does get away through backdashing. Take the opportunity to pressure them toward a wall until they can no longer rely on a backdash to get away from you. Once again, to demonstrate the continual flow of a match, even if staying close and pressuring the opponent is effective, it isn't always wise. Nina struggles to approach, but has alright tools to keep away and whiff punish. If you establish a life lead, it's not always wise to continue working hard for more damage. Keep your distance and let your opponent struggle to approach you. As they say, work smarter, not harder. So I guess I'd have to say, my key points in developing a strong game plan with Nina, or in Tekken 7 in general, are as follows. Avoid patterns. Let your game plan further develop and flow based on your opponent's tendencies. Look for character-specific information to help determine your game plan, be it punishment options, theirs and yours, defensive tools such as avoiding common mix-ups, and a general idea of their main game plan. Find the range or ranges that are most suitable for you to stay around during the match. Generally for Nina, this is as close as possible, and then around the tip range of Geyser Cannon, but it could be best to instead be around the tip range of an opponent's key move, such as Jin's forward 4 or Geese's forward 1+2. Choose your moments between rushing down your opponent and playing defensive. The game isn't about getting more hits than your opponent, it's about depleting their health bar first.